The wind blew softly over the red sands of Mars. The sun was low, painting the sky with golden-orange light. Commander Elias Marin stood outside his small metal home, staring into the horizon. He was no longer a soldier. The war was over. The galaxy was at peace, but his heart had never healed. He still remembered her. Sirenia, the alien woman who had saved him in the war, the one he had fallen in love with. She was not human. She was Vikara, vampire-like species from a dark world, called Nuktira. Her people fed on emotions, avoided sunlight, and feared humans. Their love had been forbidden. She had left one night without a word, vanished, and Elias had spent years waiting for answers. But they never came, until today. A strange sound broke the quiet air. A silver ship, sleek and quiet, flew low across the sky. It landed just beyond the rocks near his home, kicking up red dust. Elias's heart jumped. It was not a human ship. He grabbed his old plasma rifle and stepped outside. His fingers trembled not with fear, but with something else. A strange hope. The door of the ship opened slowly. A tall figure stepped out, covered in a dark cloak. Her skin was pale, her eyes glowing faintly blue. She removed her hood. Elias froze. Sirenia, he whispered. She looked the same, beautiful and cold, yet her face showed pain. Her eyes shimmered with sadness. But what shocked Elias more was the small figure beside her. A child, a boy, about 6 or 7 years old. He had dark hair like Elias, but his eyes were glowing blue like Sirenia. His skin was pale, but his cheeks were full of life. The child looked up at Elias with curiosity. He held Sirenia's hand tightly. She stepped forward. Elias, she said softly, please. Dalmas couldn't speak. His mind was spinning. Is that? She nodded. Yes, he's your son. Elias dropped the rifle. He walked closer, staring at the boy. The child looked at him, then stepped behind Sirenia, shy and nervous. His name is Kale, she said. He was born after I left. Elias felt like the ground had vanished beneath him. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you leave? Sirenia looked away. I had no choice. The Vikar elders discovered our relationship. They wanted to punish me, Undu. If they knew about Kale, they would have killed him. Elias clenched his fists. I would have protected you. I would have protected him. I know, she said. But I couldn't risk your life. I had to run. I'd been hiding for years. Moving from planet to planet, Kale stepped out again, staring at Elias. Are you my father? Elias bent down slowly. Yes, I am. He smiled gently. You're safe now. Kale smiled back. They sat inside Elias's home that night. The lights were dim. Kale slept on the couch, wrapped in a warm blanket. Elias poured a cup of water for Sirenia. You look tired, he said. I haven't slept properly in years, she replied. He looked at her closely. You're weaker, aren't you? She nodded. My kind needs energy, emotion, connection. I've been starving myself. I never fed on Kale. I didn't want to hurt him. Elias was quiet for a long moment. I still don't understand. Why now? Why come back after so long? Sirenia looked out the window. Her voice was low. They found us again. The Vikar tracked me. We barely escaped their hunters. I came here because I had nowhere else to go, and because I wanted Kale. To know you, Elias sighed. You should have come sooner, I know. I was afraid. Outside, the wind picked up. The stars twinkled over the Martian sky. Suddenly, a sharp beep echoed from Sirenia's wrist device. Her face turned pale. They've found us, she whispered. They're close. Elias grabbed his old rifle from the wall. Get Kale. We're leaving. But Sirenia shook her head. They won't attack yet. They're watching. Elias narrowed his eyes. What do they want? Kale, she said. They see him as a threat. A mix of human and Vikar. It's something they fear. They think he could end their traditions. Elias looked at the sleeping boy. He's just a child. He's more than that, Sirenia said. He has abilities, can sense emotions, feel what others feel. He's stronger than any Vikar child I've ever seen, and he can survive in sunlight. Elias stared at her. What are you saying? Terenia stood slowly. Kale could be the bridge between our species. Or the weapon that starts a new war. The night was quiet again. Kale slept peacefully, unaware of the danger coming. Elias stood near the window, watching the sky. He had lost Serenia once. He wouldn't lose her or his son again. Whatever was coming, he would face it. For them, because family was worth fighting for. And this time, he wasn't letting go. Morning arrived slowly on Mars. The sky turned soft yellow as the sun rose over the rocky hills. Inside the metal shelter, Elias was already awake. He had barely slept. Too many thoughts, too many memories. Kale was still asleep on the couch, hugging a stuffed robot toy Elias had given him during the night. Serenia sat near the window, her eyes red from tiredness, her body still weak. Elias made warm tea and gave her a cup. She took it silently. You should eat something, he said. We're still running on empty. She shook her head. Ow. Be fine. No, you won't, Elias replied. You're starving. Serenia looked at him with a tired smile. Your concern still warms me. But I've learned to live without feeding. I had to. For Kale. Yes. Elias sat across from her. Tell me everything. From the beginning. Serenia took a deep breath. After I left Earth, she began. I hid on the dark moons of Argon 7. Gave birth to Kale there. He was small and silent. His eyes glowed even as a baby. I knew then he wasn't ordinary. Elias listened carefully. He grew quickly. Faster than human children, she continued. But he was gentle, curious. I never taught him to feed like the Vikar do. He learned to survive on ambient energy-light emotions, happiness, warmth, but it wasn't enough for me. She looked down. I became weak. I moved from place to place, hiding from the elders. They sent hunters to find us. Never knew. I always told him we were travelers. Elias clenched his fists. And now they've found you. Yes, Serenia said. They sent a message. They want Kale brought to them immediately. If I don't hand him over, they'll come in force. Stirred on the couch, he opened his eyes slowly and looked around. Mom Serenia smiled and stood up. I'm here, my son. Kale sat up. I had a dream. There was a voice, calling my name. But it wasn't you. Serenia's smile faded. Elias walked over and knelt beside Kale. What did the voice say? Kale looked unsure. It said, come home, Kale. You belong with us. It felt cold. Not like Mom, not like you. Serenia and Elias exchanged a worried glance. They're already trying to reach him, she said. Even from orbit. Later that day, Elias took Kale outside. They walked along the dusty path near the rocks. Kale held a small scanner Elias gave him and laughed as it beeped at strange bugs crawling in the sand. You like it here? Elias asked. Kale nodded. It's quiet. No one's chasing us. You have plants? Mom never had plants. Elias smiled. Maybe we can grow more. If we stay. Kale looked up at him. Are you going to protect us? Elias stopped walking. He looked into the boy's glowing blue eyes, so full of innocence and hidden power. Yes, he said softly. With everything I have. Back inside, Serenia was connecting her wrist device to Ilias's old terminal, the Vikar orbit ship. Is cloaked, she said. But it's there, watching. Elias walked over. Then we need help. Serenia raised an eyebrow. Earth doesn't trust me. Not after the war. You trust me, Elias said. I'll call the Martian Guard. Serenia hesitated. If you do, this becomes political. They'll see Kale as a threat or a weapon. I don't care how they see him. I just want him safe. Serenia nodded slowly. Then do it. Careful. Even allies have fear. That night the wind howled. The stars above were bright. Elias sat near the heater, cleaning his rifle. Kale was drawing something with colored sand on the floor. Elias glanced over and felt his heart skip. It was a picture of three people, Kale in the middle, holding hands with Elias and Serenia. Behind them was a strange figure with red eyes and sharp wings. "That one," Kale said, pointing to the dark figure, "is the voice in my dream?" Elias stared. "You saw him?" Kale nodded. "He scares me. But he says I have to choose." "Choose? What?" "I don't know." Later, when Kale had gone to sleep, Elias and Serenia sat in the quiet again. "He's special," Elias whispered. "You always said our child would be different, but I didn't expect this." "And in either," Serenia said. "The first of his kind, he carries both of our strengths and none of our weaknesses." Elias looked at her. "He can survive sunlight. He doesn't need to feed on fear or pain. He feels emotions deeply." "What does that make him?" Serenia answered with a serious voice. "A bridge or a bomb, phrased with love. He could unite our species. If taken by the elders, they'll twist him into a weapon." Leah stood. "Then we won't let that happen." Just then, a red light blinked on Serenia's device. She gasped. "No. They've sent a signal to Kale directly. A psychic call." Kale screamed from the other room. Elias ran to him and found the boy shaking, eyes glowing too bright, almost white. "They're inside his mind," Serenia shouted, trying to take control. Elias held Kale tightly. "Fight it, son. You're stronger than them." Kale clenched his fists. "I don't want to go with them. I want to stay here." With a sudden burst of energy, a wave of light exploded from his body. The walls shook, the lights flickered. Then, silence. Kale collapsed into Ilias's arms, breathing hard but calm. Serenia rushed over, placing her hand on his head. "He's okay. For now." The next day began with tension in the air. The red sky over Mars was calm, but Elias felt a storm growing. Something was coming. He knew it. Inside the small metal shelter, Kale sat quietly at the table. He was drawing again. This time it was a picture of a planet split in two, half dark, half light. Elias placed a warm drink next to him. "You feeling better?" Kale nodded. "The voice is gone. But I know it'll come back." Serenia walked in, her face serious. "We don't have much time. I just picked up a landing signal. Small Vicar envoy ship is coming." Elias stood. "Here now." "Yes," she said. "They're coming to talk or threaten." By the afternoon, a sleek black ship landed on the Martian sand not far from Elias's shelter. Its surface reflected no light. Cold. Silent. Elias stood outside, rifle on his back, Serenia beside him. Kale watched from inside through a small window. The ship door opened. From within stepped a tall Vicar man in a dark cloak. His skin was silver gray, his eyes blood red, and his steps silent. Serenia whispered, "That's High Enforcer Drellin. He speaks for the elders." Drellin stopped a few feet from Elias and bowed slightly, not with respect, but formality. "Commander Elias Marin, Serenia of the Fallen House Thal. You are both under violation of the Vicar blood code." Elias didn't move. "You're not on Vicar soil? You don't speak for Mars." Drellin smiled coldly. "No, but I speak for those who protect the balance of the galaxy. You've broken it." He looked toward the window. "The child must be given to us." Elias stepped forward. "His name is Kale, and he's not going anywhere." Drellin's voice was calm but firm. "He is not yours to keep. He is a creation of broken law. He carries power your kind cannot understand. If left unchecked, he will bring destruction." Serena spoke sharply. "He is a child, not a weapon." "You are blinded by emotion," Drellin replied. "We are not. The elders have seen the future. That boy stands between two outcomes: unity or extinction. We must guide his path by removing him from this world." Elias gritted his teeth. "You mean brainwashing him?" "We mean protecting the galaxy," Drellin said. "Give him to us, and no war will begin. Deny us, and we will act." Later, the black ship left. No shots were fired, no violence. But the message was clear. Inside the shelter, Kale sat between his parents. He had heard everything. "I don't." "Want to go with them?" he said. "You won't. Leah said firmly. Serena placed her hand over Kale's. They fear you because they don't understand you. Kale looked up. What am I? Elias paused, then answered, You're a bridge between two worlds. You're our son. Kale smiled faintly. Then teach me how to be strong. That night, Elias began training Kale in basic defense. He showed him how to hold a plasma blade, how to sense danger, how to stay calm under pressure. Serena trained him in Vicar-focused techniques, how to quiet the mind, how to protect it from psychic attacks. Kale learned quickly. His body was faster than a human's. His mind, sharper than most adults. By the end of the week, he could block the calling voice in his dreams. He was still a child, but growing stronger. Meanwhile, Elias contacted his old friends in the Martian Guard. He sent a coded message. Alien contact confirmed. Child targeted. Potential political risk. Request backup. The response came quickly. Understood. Watch and wait. No official move yet. You are authorized to defend. It wasn't much, but it was something. One morning, Kale came running. From the fields outside the shelter, there's a drone in the sky. I saw it. Elias rushed out and used his scope. A small black drone floated far above. Not Earth tech. Vicar design. They're spying on us, Elias said. Serena's face grew pale. If they're scanning Kale's energy signature, they'll know how strong he's become. That might force their hand. That evening, the drone disappeared, but they knew what it meant. Drellin wouldn't ask again. Next time he would come to take. Elias sat with Serena late that night. Kale was asleep, curled up under a blanket, his drawing. Tools nearby. I thought the war was over, Elias said. It never really ended, Serena replied. It just changed shape. Elias looked at her. Do you still believe in peace? She looked into his eyes. I believe in Kale. He is different. He's not ruled by fear or pride. He wants to understand both sides. Elias nodded.
Nice.
We'll protect that light inside him, even if it costs us everything. Suddenly, an alert flashed on Serena's device. Multiple ships detected, she said. Elias ran to the window. Red lights blinked in the night sky. Not just one ship, small fleet. They're moving in formation, Serena said. It's not an attack yet, but it's a threat. Elias picked up his rifle. Then it's our move next. In the shadows. Outside, Kale watched the sky. His eyes glowed softly. He didn't speak, but inside, something had awakened. A new voice. A calm one. His own. And it said, I will decide my path. The red sun set slowly behind the rocky hills of Mars. Elias stood outside his shelter, looking at the small fleet of Vicar ships hanging silently in the dark sky. Their red lights glowed like cold eyes watching him. He tightened his grip on his plasma rifle. The war was coming back. Inside the shelter, Kale sat quietly with Serena. His blue eyes glowed softly as he practiced breathing exercises. Serena taught him to control his powers, to calm his mind, and to protect himself from the Vicar's psychic attacks. Elias walked inside. Kale, I'm going to teach you something new today. Kale looked up. What is it? How to fight, Elias said simply. Kale's eyes widened. But I don't want to hurt anyone. Elias smiled gently.
Al, you won't have to if you're ready.
But if someone tries to hurt you or your mother, you have to defend them. Kale nodded slowly. Okay. The next few days passed quickly. Elias trained Kale in the art of combat. The boy was fast and smart. He learned how to hold a plasma blade, how to move silently, and how to listen to the world around him. But what surprised Elias most was how Kale's power grew stronger every day. One afternoon, as Kale practiced, Elias noticed something new. Kale's eyes flashed bright blue as he moved, and the air around him seemed to shimmer. Kale, Elias called. What happened? Kale stopped and looked confused. I don't know, I felt ... strong. Serena entered the room. That's your power growing.
Yeah.
You are special, Kale. You can survive in sunlight and feel emotions deeply. It's a gift and a responsibility. Elias nodded. We have to prepare. The Vicar are not just watching anymore. They will act. And that evening, a message came from the Martian Guard. They warned of a rogue Vicar, a ship attacking a small human settlement on the outer colony. Elias frowned. They're testing us. Serena's voice was calm but serious. They want to scare us, to make us give up Kale. Elias looked at the boy sleeping peacefully. We won't. The next day, Elias and Serena met with a secret group of Vicar, rebels who wanted peace. They called themselves the New Dawn. The leader, a tall woman named Leora, welcomed them carefully. We know the elders want Kale, Leora said, but we believe he can bring change. We want to help you protect him. Elias felt hope rise in his chest. Thank you, Leora smiled. But be warned, the elders have spies everywhere. Meanwhile, Kale's nightmares grew worse. He saw visions of destruction, worlds burning, stars dying, and armies fighting endlessly. In his dreams, he heard the voice again. Choose the path, Kale. Bring light or shadow. One night, he woke up screaming. Serena held him tightly. You're not alone, she whispered. We will find the way together. One afternoon, a solar flare struck the colony. Alarms rang. The settlement was in danger. Elias ran outside with Kale and Serena. Kale's eyes glowed brightly as he reached out his hands. A wave of light spread from him, shielding the colony from the flare's worst effects. People cheered. Kale smiled. Weakly but collapsed afterward, exhausted. Elias caught him. He saved them. Kale looked up. I want to help more. But their joy was short-lived. A group of Vicar Splinter soldiers attacked the shelter. They believed Kale was a threat and wanted to capture him. Elias fought fiercely. Serena used her powers to protect Kale. In the chaos, Kale was taken. Elias and Serena stood among the burning ruins of their home. Elias's heart burned with pain. We have to get him back, Elias said, no matter the cost. Serena nodded. He is our future. Elias called the New Dawn for help. Together, they planned a rescue mission deep into enemy territory. Kale's fate and the future of both species hung in the balance. The sky above the dark Vicar stronghold was filled with cold stars. Elias and Serena moved quietly through the shadows, hiding behind rocks and ruins. The New Dawn rebels had helped them reach this dangerous place, deep inside enemy territory. Elias felt his heart pound. This was not just a rescue, it was a battle for their son's soul. Kale is held inside the main tower, Leora whispered. The elders want to control him. They believe he can become their greatest weapon. Elias nodded. We have to stop them. Inside the tower, Kale sat in a strange room filled with glowing symbols. His eyes were closed, but his face showed pain. A dark figure stood nearby, one of the elders, silent and tall, with sharp wings folded behind him. Wake up, child, the elder said softly. Your power is the key to our future. Kale opened his eyes, glowing with confusion and fear. The elder's voice echoed in his mind. Join us, Kale. You belong with us. Kale shook his head. No, I belong with my family. The elder frowned. You don't understand your destiny. Outside, Elias and Serena prepared for battle. They checked their weapons and planned their moves. Be careful, Serena said to Elias. They will try to trick Kale. Elias looked at her, eyes full of determination. I will bring him home. The fight began with a sudden burst of laser fire. Elias and the New Dawn rebels moved fast, using shadows and speed to avoid the guards. Serena used her powers too. Create illusions, confusing their enemies. They reached the tower entrance, but it was guarded by a large force. Elias signaled to the rebels. Hold here, I will go inside. Serena nodded. I'm coming with you. Inside the tower, Kale struggled against the mental control the elder tried to impose. You have great power, Kale, the elder said. Together, we can rule the galaxy. Kale closed his eyes, trying to block the voice. He thought of Elias and Serena, of Earth and Noctira. He felt their love, strong and warm. Suddenly, a bright light exploded from him. The symbols on the walls shattered, and the elder stumbled back. Kale opened his eyes. I choose my own path. At that moment, Elias and Serenia burst into the room. "Kale," Elias shouted. Kale smiled weakly. "I'm okay. I fought him." Serenia hugged Kale. "You are stronger than you know." Right. But the battle was not over. More guards arrived, and Elias took charge. "Protect Kale. We get out now." They fought their way back, using every skill and power they had. Kale's energy shielded them from attacks, while Elias's sharp aim took down enemies. Finally, they reached the outside. As they ran through the dark forest, Kale looked back at the tower. He'd feel the anger and fear inside the elders. "They won't stop," he said, "but neither will we." Elias smiled. "We will make them listen." The New Dawn rebels celebrated the victory. But Elias knew the war was far from over. Serenia looked at Elias. "Kale is the child of two worlds. He carries the hope for peace." Elias took Kale's hand, "And we will fight for that hope together." The red light of dawn stretched across the Martian horizon. Elias stood beside Serenia, watching Kale play near the small garden they had built together. The plants swayed gently in the soft wind, a symbol of new life on the harsh planet. After the rescue, life had slowly changed. The Vikar elders had retreated, unwilling to risk another open war. The fragile peace held for now. Kale's powers had grown stronger, but so had his wisdom. He was no longer just a child of two worlds, he was a symbol of hope. Inside their home, Elias and Serenia talked quietly. "It's been a long road," Elias said. "I never thought we'd get here." Serenia smiled softly. "Neither did I, but Kale changed everything." Elias nodded. "You were right to come back, to bring him here." She looked at him, eyes shining. "I was afraid I had lost you forever." "You didn't lose me," Elias said gently. "We were always connected." Through him, Kale ran into the room, holding a small flower he had picked. "Look," he said, showing them. Serenia took the flower and smiled. "It's beautiful, just like you." Elias laughed. "You have a good eye?" Kale's face lit up. "I want to help others, like the New Dawn rebels. I want to build a better future." Outside, the first meeting of the new Galactic Council began.
Representatives from Noctera.
And other planets gathered to discuss peace and cooperation. Kale stood with Elias and Serenia, holding their hands. His eyes glowed softly, a reminder of his unique heritage. The council members watched him closely. "He is proof that we can live together," Elias said quietly. But peace was fragile. Some still feared Kale's power. Others doubted if the Vikar elders would truly let go. One day a message arrived from the elders. They asked for a meeting and offer of truce. Serenia looked at Elias. "Should we trust them?" Elias took Kale's hand. "We have to try. For Kale's future." The meeting took place on a neutral station between Mars and Noctera. The elders arrived, regal but tense. Elias and Serenia presented Kale, showing him as a symbol of hope and unity. The elders listened, their faces unreadable. After long hours, the lead elder spoke. "We will watch Kale, but we will not interfere." It was not perfect peace, but it was a start. Back on Mars, Elias, Serenia, and Kale looked at the stars. "Do you forgive me?" Serenia asked Elias softly. He smiled. "There is nothing to forgive. We lost time, but we found each other again." Kale laughed. "I'm glad you're both here." Elias pulled them close. "We're a family, together." As the red sun set, Kale looked to the sky. He was not just a child of Earth or Noctera. He was a bridge between worlds, peoples, and hearts. And with his parents by his side, was ready to lead them all to a brighter future.